Welcome back to BreslovCampus, Insights in the Parsha of the Week, Parshat Naso. A very long Parsha, possibly the longest Parsha. It is the longest Parsha, and it has also the longest Midrash on the Parsha, and also you have the highest part of the Zohar, one of the highest parts of the Zohar, called the Idra Rabbah on the Zohar on this Parsha. And they explain that Parshat Naso is so big because normally it falls right after Shavuot or around Shavuot time, to show that with the receiving of the Torah, so the Torah becomes very plentiful and rich, and it's expressed in the length of this Parsha and the amount of commentary and Torah on the Parsha and the Midrash and in the Zohar, etc. So there's a lot to talk about in the Parsha. One of the highlights of the Parsha is the priestly blessings, Birkat Kohanim. And Rebbe Nachman goes into a segment, the last words of the priestly blessings. It ends like this: V'sam shmi al bnei Yisrael va'ani avarechem. Hashem says to Moshe Rabbeinu that the Kohanim should bless the Jewish people, and by blessing the Jewish people, V'samu et shmi al bnei Yisrael, they will be placing my name on the Jewish people, va'ani avarechem, and that way I will bless them. On these words, and that way I will bless them. So there's many commentaries in the Gemara explaining it, that okay, so the Kohanim are blessing the Jewish people, so who's going to bless the Kohanim? So Hashem promises, when the Kohanim do their job of blessing the Jewish people, Ani avarchem, I will bless the Kohanim. Another opinion in the Gemara, that Hashem will also bless the Jewish people along with the hands of the Kohanim. It's not just the Kohanim blessing the Jewish people. Ani avarchem, that Hashem is using the Kohanim, that He should be blessing the Jewish people. But according to all the opinions, it's basically Ani, Hashem is saying, I will bless the Jewish people. Rebbe Nachman goes further to explain that Ani and I is the source of all the blessings, is the vessel, the conduit for blessings to come down in the world. He reads, V'ani avarechem, and Ani, when you have Aleph, Nun, Yud, that is avarechem, that is the key for bracha. And he explains Rebbe Nachman, what is Ani? What is Ani that I will bless them? He says, Aleph, Nun, Yud is 3 stages, 3 points in attaining mastery of davening, so that when davening is done at this level, it becomes the key for the blessings. So he says, number 1, Aleph. Aleph means that a Jew must consider himself as being a tzaddik, because without that, a person can't lift up his head in daven. Because a person has the negative attitude, as if Hashem listens to my davening, as if my davening makes a difference, as if my davening has a value, as if Hashem listens at such a low life like me when I talk. So in order to daven, you need to have a big dosage of self-confidence, which means Aleph, that you are AA, you're A+, AA, Aleph, Aleph, you're number 1, that you're a tzaddik. He shows how the idea of being a tzaddik is connected to Aleph from a verse in Psalms, Alufeinu mesubalim, our leaders, our teachers, the tzaddikim, mesubalim are acceptable, that the tzaddikim are acceptable. So this is the idea of being a tzaddik. We won't go into that too much because there's a lot of details in that. But Aleph in short is the idea of a tzaddik. Once you have that big level, that high level of self-confidence, which is the Aleph, then you can join Nun with Yud. What's Nun? Nun, Rebbe Nachman teaches, is mastery over speech. In other words, prayer, words of prayer, but at a high level of Malchut, of control, that you're not separate from the words of the prayer service, you're one, you're in control, you're in mastery of the words. He says that Nun is connected to a verse in Psalms, where King David says in Psalm, I think it's 72, Lifnei Shemesh Yinon Shemo, that before the sun, his name will be Yinon. His name, the name of Mashiach, will be Yinon. What does it mean, Yinon? Rashi explains Malchut. His name will have kingship. There will be sovereignty on his name. The Gemara is interpreting this on the name of Mashiach, the anointed one, that there will be Malchut, kingship associated. So Malchut, according to the Kabbalah, is always associated with the mouth, like it says in the Tikkun Zohar, in a segment called Patach Eliyahu. It says there, Malchut Peh. Malchut, kingship, connotes speech, because a king, how does he reveal his sovereignty? Through his orders. He orders around his servants and his subjects, and by telling them, ordering them what he wants done, that's how we know of his kingship. His kingship is revealed through speech. So Malchut is Peh. So Nun, Yinon, Malchut, Peh are all synonymous, meaning speech. So Nun of Aleph, Nun, Yud is speech. And Yud, Rebbe Nachman teaches, is the thoughts. We learned that out from Rashi on the verse regarding the song of the splitting of the Red Sea, when the Jews did the Shirat Hayam. It says there, as it starts off, as Yashir Moshe uvnei Yisrael, and then Moshe sang along with the Jewish people. So Rashi points out, if it's in past tense, it should have read as Shar Moshe, and Moshe sang. Why add the letter Yud, which makes it sound like future tense? So Rashi brings a few explanations, but one that sticks out is the Yud is referring to the thought that entered Moshe Rabbeinu's heart. Moshe Rabbeinu thought that now is an appropriate time to sing to Hashem, and he went ahead and did that. So as Yashir Moshe, that Moshe first thought now is a good time to sing to Hashem, to praise, to say a song, and he went ahead and did that. So Yud, Rashi says, Al Shem HaMachshava Ne'emra. Yud is connoting the thought of Moshe Rabbeinu to go ahead and think and sing. So Rebbe Nachman learns out from here that Yud connotes thought, because that's what Rashi says. So the Yud also, in Aleph Nun Yud, is the thoughts. So what's the idea here? That when you have Aleph, when you value yourself, value your prayers, that even though you are as you are, Hashem loves you because you're a tzaddik, you have a good point, you are one of the Jewish people, and all the Jewish people, like we say in Ethics of Our Fathers, V'amech kulam tzaddikim, your nation, they are all tzaddikim. Every Jew has a portion in the world to come. Every Jew has a modicum of good that deems him of being a tzaddik. Of course, there are certain exceptions, but in the main, the Jewish people are good people, are honest people, they have good points, and in that they're deemed as being tzaddikim. With that enhanced and focused on, and a person davens from the positive attitude on themselves, they can then join the words of davening that they're saying. First of all, have mastery over them, feel one and connected to the davening, and not disconnected like most people do, unfortunately. They feel the davening, is just a sermon, it's just a religious ceremony, and just to get on with it and to get on with the day. So here, to have nun, where I'm connecting to the words of the prayer, but what am I doing once I have the nun? To join the Yud with the Nun. That I join my thoughts, I'm able now to connect my thoughts to the words, because now the words are shining to me. I have Malchut, I have Nun, the quality of the words are Nun type of words, Nun meaning Malchut, kingship, sovereignty type of words. I'm really feeling the connection and the mastery over the words of prayer that I'm saying from the Siddur or from Psalms. So now, with them shining that light of kingship, it's much easier to connect my thoughts, the Yud, to the words of prayer. So Rebbe Nachman teaches when you have Ani completed, the Kli, the vessel called Ani, right? And by the way, I think it's the same Gematria. Kli is 20 plus 30, that's 51. And Ani, 61, no? It's Ani, 1 second. Aleph, Nun, Yud. No, I'm right, sorry. Kli is right. 1 second, right. No. 20 plus 30, 50 plus Yud, that's 60. With the word itself is 61. Ani, exactly 61. Aleph is 1, Nun is 50, Yud is 10, 61. So you see, the Kli is Ani. That's amazing, huh? That's an insight from Rav Tzvi Cheshen, Shlita. So you have the Kli, the vessel complete, and then you have the blessings. Vani, Avarechem. We should be zochet through this parsha, and it's understood that the priestly blessings is propitious to help a person to get into davening, to get into the Ani, to get the vessel of Ani. We should be zoche, every Jew, every one of us, to have this vessel called Ani and to be able to daven and have channels of blessing, abundance coming down to all of us. Bezrat Hashem. Shabbat Shalom.